know my end, and what is the measure of my days. Let me know how fleeting my life is. You have made my day a few handbreadths, and my lifetime is as nothing in your sight. Surely everyone stands as mere breath. Selah. Well, he's getting that off his chest, isn't he? What was your high point today?
The sun.
Okay, the sun is out. Yay!
It was.
Not having to rush.
Not having to rush.
Yesterday I had to be at the doctor's for blood work before Eden. So it was nice today.
And then they give you an 11 o'clock appointment.
Yes.
I saw 3 bluebirds. They were digging in the pots. There's no plants in it, but must looking for something. Bees, bugs, whatever. I said, bluebirds. Then my neighbor today, birdseed by the kitchen window. Oh, the bluebirds hang out here. I said, oh, that's why they're really around here. It's not me. It's my neighbor feeding the bluebirds. And I could tell them they're blue.
I've seen robins, but not.
Yeah, they're bluebirds. They're very blue. Like that, like your shirt. Blue. Don't see blue in the woods at this time of the year. Yellow, maybe. No, I haven't seen the yellow birds yet. Golden finch? Not yet. What's a low point?
I think you get up.
Get rest.
Get up. Low point, low point.
Getting up is a high point.
Yeah.
That's true.
Up this morning.
It could be. Was this morning. Sure.
I guess I would say a low point is looking at anger in the Psalms. It's a reality. I mean, I have anger. I get angry at people not going when it's a green light. They're sitting there on the phone, obviously. I have to wait. No. I have to be patient. I'm in a 55 plus community. This is the way it is. Welcome to your community. Just wait and don't hurry, because you're not going to get in a hurry. Anyway, so patience. So, the Lord be with you.
And also with you.
O Lord our God, sometimes the world feels too broken, too pain-filled, and too harsh. We cry out to ask for your help. When that help seems delayed or even absent, we get angry. Empower us to express our anger at you, and through that expression, to deepen our relationship with you. In your name we pray. Amen. I don't know why, but I think of Jonah, who was angry at God, sending him to Nineveh, and went the opposite way and got swallowed by a fish. After 3 days in the belly of a fish, okay, God, I get it. You want me to go to Nineveh? And came out of the fish's mouth and headed to Nineveh and told him, repent in 40 days. I think it was 40 days, give or take. God's going to destroy this whole city and everybody in it. And they repented. Boy, was he angry. God, this is who you are. You're always having mercy. You're always forgiving people. I don't like that. He wants to see people die. And then he was upset, sulking. And then this beautiful plant on a hot day, that day will come for all of us. On that hot day, this nice, beautiful plant grew over him and gave him shade, and he was so happy. And then a little bug came in and killed that plant. Boy, was he angry. He was angry. A very angry man. He was angry that that plant died. And then he says, God, let me die, because I'm angry. I don't need to live anymore. That's what I think. I think of Jonah. At least
Did he write Psalms?
No, but he did. Whoever wrote the story probably had a bad day. Wanted to express it. But at least that's what I think. Anger both fascinates and repels us. anger is a common source of comedic inspiration. Think again, anything like Lewis Black. I've heard Lewis Black and his humor. We laugh at ourselves when we do things that are just human. When we are faced with eruptions of true anger, however, it can cause discomfort or even pain. Think of Will Smith and Chris Rock at the 2022 Academy Awards. How many times did you have to see that on TV? Too many times. I got angry just watching it all the time. As your facilitator shares examples, I guess that's me, they've collected of comedic anger, ponders these questions. What makes these clips funny? What still causes you discomfort? What truth about anger do these stories convey? Well, I guess I told you the clip of Jonah. You know, we could be angry about this.
I have a comedic anger story. I was going to use one of those sticky fly traps. Yeah, I'd never used one before. Have you tried to use those things? Then you pull the
Long
tab
ago.
out of the container and then you hang it up. Well, everything happened in that. I had it extended because I knew I didn't want to be yanking on it when it was up on the hook, which the hook didn't hold. The thing came down. I'm caught in the fly trap. I was so mad. I'm like, how am I going to get all this? Is this poisonous? Am I going to die? Is my skin going to come off? I was so mad. And so I just said, you know what? You're going in the trash. But here I am battling this. It was funny. If somebody had had a video of that, I'd have won $1 million. I was so mad. I was just like the fly saying, let go, let go. Terrible.
What do they call it? Gorilla glue or super glue? You're trying to glue something. You're gluing everything but the thing you want to glue. And it's on your fingers, it's on your hands, it could be in your hair by the time you try to get
On your clothes.
On your
It
clothes.
was sticking to everything. And it was all this uncurly.
Well, they caught something. You.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I'm
that's
a butterfly.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
I just curled it all up and threw it away. I was so mad.
That's good.
I mean, it felt like something you'd see the Three Stooges do. Or,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they got mad, but they use it as comic.
oh, all the time.
Like a Joel, Larry, Curly?
Mo.
No, Mo.
No.
Larry and Curly. How can I get Mo with Joe? Well, I've seen some Joes act like Mo. Nevertheless. But yeah, they're angry, but it's comedy. Yeah, as they beat each other up. Isn't that funny? And they're with the face curly.
Yeah.
It's
And the
amazing.
sounds that they would make.
And we laugh because, oh yeah, I guess that's what I do. Yeah. Read Psalm 39. Mark the tone that captures each verse, frustrated and angry, and its sound, yelling, pleading. Read the psalm again. Why is the psalmist angry at God? What is the poem conveys their anger? Well, one thing at a time. Okay, who would like to read Psalm 39 in its entirety? Anybody volunteer?
Well, I seem to be the one who always volunteers, so we'll read it.
Elaine.
I said, I will guard my ways, that I may not sin with my tongue. I will bridle my mouth, as long as the wicked are in my presence. I was dumb and silent. I held my peace to no avail. My distress grew worse. My heart became hot within me, and I mused, the fire burned, and then I spoke with my tongue. Lord, let me know my end, and what is the measure of my days. Let me know how fleeting my life is. Behold, thou hast made my days a few handbreadths, and my lifetime is nothing in my sight. Surely every man stands as a mere breath. Selah. Surely man goes about as a shadow. Surely for naught are they in turmoil. Man leaps up and knows not what will gather. And now, Lord, for what do I wait? My hope is in thee. Deliver me from all my transgressions. Make me not scorn of the fool. I am dumb, I do not open my mouth, for it is thou who hast done it. Remove my stroke from me. I am spent by the blows of thy hand. When thou dost chasten man with rebukes for sin, thou dost commit like a moth what is dear to him. Surely every man is a mere breath. Selah. Hear my prayer, O Lord. Hear my prayer, O Lord, and give ear to my cry. Hold not thy peace at my tears, for I am a passing guest, a sojourner like all my fathers. Look away from me, that I may know gladness before I depart, and be no more.
What does Selah mean?
It's they don't really know what it means, but they think it might have something to do with the choir or some musical instruments playing, maybe, or a repetitious pause or praise, some sort of praise. But yeah, they don't really know what Selah is, but they keep it in there because it's written, Because the Psalms are not just only prayers, there's also songs. And last night I shared a hymn as our prayer, which was picked out in the Lenten season. And I thought it tied in with the theme about kindness. We're supposed to show kindness, especially with those who are angry. And then we're supposed to respond with kindness.
Well, the fact that it's perhaps to a musical instrument, I mean, in my Bible it says that this psalm was written to the choir master.
So, there you go.
Some of the music is there.
Yeah. Hit the drum, hit the bell, hit the timbrel, hit the horn. I don't know. Something, you're going to do something. Something's going to happen.
And everybody knows what it is.
Yes. So you know what? We don't have to tell anybody because everybody knows what it is. Have you ever heard that before? You should know what it is just because you should know.
Yeah.
But no one explains it, no one passes it down to you as to what it means. And that's what happens. So they don't admit it, they just leave it there. And you guess what? And what we do, we say the word Selah.
It's not in this one.
Oh.
Selah isn't in this.
Wow. Because they don't know what it means, so then why put it in? You're not going to miss it. But you got the words, that's what's important. So what parts of this psalm is frustrated and angry? What sections did you sense that? I think the one of it is my verse 3. Verse 3, my heart became hot within me. That's a boiling point. I'm boiling up. I'm in the heat of the moment. I'm not going to be proper. I'm not going to be kind. I'm going to say what I got to say because I can't keep my mouth shut. Oops. Could've, would've, should've. Too late. That's out there.
Well, verse 6, I would say, would be frustration. We walk about like a shadow, and in vain we are in turmoil. We heap up riches and cannot tell who will gather them.
It's frustrating. Yeah, very frustrating. Do you see any part where it's yelling in the song? How about verse 4? Lord, let me know my end. What do you think? It doesn't have an exclamation mark, but he wants results. He wants to know, when is this going to be over?
Yeah, let me know how fleeting my life.
Yeah. Do I have to stick around for all this? Can't you just end it now?
Well, and then he makes a suggestion as to what to do. On verse 10, he says, take your affliction from me. I am worn down by the blows of your hand.
There you
See
go.
him yelling.
Yeah. Enough already. I quit. I surrender. I give up. I give up already. That sounds familiar.
And then verse 5 sounds so negative. My lifetime is as nothing in your sight. We like to think that it is something.
Yeah. After all, you created me, God. You gave me breath. I am here talking to you. But apparently, it's not having any effect. It's like I'm not here. Yeah. And so that's how he feels, right? I'm a fleeting. My life is fleeting. My lifetime is as nothing in your sight. What does it count for? Nothing. Pretty low point.
Well, the last verse isn't too friendly either. Turn your gaze from me that I may smile again. Go before I go my way and am no more.
Do you know that it kind of reminds me of Job? And his wife was not much help.
Nor were his friends.
Nor were his friends. I think his wife says, well, would you get to it, die already, so you could stop to listen to your moaning and get it over with. Be done with your life. She couldn't take it anymore either. But she's not helpful. Not for Job. She's not helpful.
And that's what happens. Sometimes when you feel that frustrated or that angry, people are afraid to try and comfort you because you're just so miserable. They don't know which way you'll strike out. And you might drag them into your mire.
So I parked the car in the church parking lot, way at the end, which I think is a blessing in disguise. It's a habit, but I think that was a blessing in disguise. And this lady with a big bag, and she was dressed nicely, and she stopped. She saw me and looked at me. And then she said some words where she expressed anger, not to me, but to the police. And she said they did terrible things to her. Well, you know her? Oh, okay.
I know this
Okay.
circumstance.
So that I thought, well, she's angry, but not really at me, but she's going to let me know she's angry so that I may do something, pray for her. I didn't go up to talk to her because she left, so that's it. Oh, that's good. She kept on walking. But I didn't think, she's dressed properly, she's got her bag, but she looked at me and said these things. I says, wow, she needs to go to...
Anger management.
That's what I thought. Yeah, anger management. I have met people that just yell at you, and it's nothing to do with you, but they...
She has more help, needs more help than any of us can give her.
Yeah.
There is nothing, we've tried many times.
Yeah, she won't accept.
There is nothing we can say or do that will make her feel better, that will bring her back to reality, because she lives in a world that we are not part of.
Yeah. Well, I was grateful that she kept moving on.
Yes.
Yeah, and I said, well, and like I said, Lord, you heard her prayer. Indirectly through me, up to you. But, yeah.
You didn't say happy Sunday when she...
No, I did not. I did not.
It's better that you don't react.
I kept my mouth shut and just looked like I was listening. That's all I could do at the time. Because I said, well, this is interesting. Nice and loud at the end of the parking lot. I said, would you like to come to our Bible study? We're talking about anger.
Don't make invitations. We've all dealt with this, and we've tried through the years.
Yeah.
And she's many times at the door here.
Oh, okay. I guess this is my first time seeing her.
It's very difficult. It's a shame.
What do we call that? Mental illness?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very definitely.
I made the mistake of offering my sympathies one day. That set her off. Big time.
That's what I mean. Sometimes you just can't be helped because you're in such pain.
Yeah.
And I would say mental illness is definitely painful.
And I would think, yeah, no response. You can look, you can listen, say a silent prayer to God, and then let the person move on. Because they did what they wanted to do. They want someone to hear what they're saying, regardless. But they're not looking for an answer or direction or anything else. They want you to hear what they have to say and then go on their way. Not that I'm a real wise guy or I know everything. It's just I said, okay, God. How interesting it happened today as we talk about anger in the Psalms.
Well, something in this makes me think a friend of a friend is now in hospice care, and I just wonder what goes through the mind of a person in that situation. I know how her family and friends are feeling. It's difficult,
Yeah.
but I wonder what she's feeling now. If anything, maybe the morphine is.
Yeah, they do give you medication to keep you calm.
Mm-hmm.
When I lived in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, I was a member of the Presbyterian Church at that time.
That's okay, we'll handle that.
Oh,
I grew up a
was
Lutheran. I married
she was
a Lutheran.
fast. She was fast.
But at that time, the minister got cancer, and he wrote a book about what it was like as he went through all the stages and got to hospice, and how he felt, and how he reached out to other people as to what they could be feeling and how to handle it. It was very interesting.
Yeah, well, we have the grief support. We come to learn that it's okay to grieve, it's okay to cry, it's okay to be angry, it's okay to be frustrated, it's okay to say these things. And it's not bad. You're trying to deal with this loss of life or health or a situation you have no control over. And but you're expressing it and you're sharing it with a group that will not try to tell you, well, you should do it this way. No, we're not here to tell you how to do it. We're just telling you it's okay to share that and get that out, and in time come to an understanding. But give it time. It's not going to go away, type of thing. You gotta live with it and find ways to cope with it. But there are books if you're able to read about grief, and it goes in different stages too. It's not always the same. I'm not reading lately, but not what's his name? Henri Nouwen. His mother died, and so he writes to his dad in Denmark. Yeah, right, Denmark? Maybe not. Okay, in that area. And because of that writing to his father about the loss of his mother, and then this is his father's wife, they see something that they never saw before in this relationship between his grieving with his wife and then his grieving because of his mother, but it brought them closer together as they share their grief for this person that's not in their life. So, and this was like not right away, this was years. So he wrote a book about it, and again, it's okay to grieve. It's okay to share and express. But so I haven't finished the book yet. He told me to read 1 page a day. I'm a couple pages behind already. I try to follow directions. I'm not even doing that very well either. Let's see. Okay, why do you think the psalmist is angry at God? What is the poem seems to convey their anger? So, did we talk about that, why he is angry?
Well, he obviously has heard something that he doesn't agree with, or he doesn't like that the person who's spouting whatever they're saying
It's not true.
is, I don't know, I guess maybe he thinks the person is hotshot and has answers for everybody, and he doesn't see him in that kind of light. I mean, he's just not agreeing with something that he has heard or seen. Is my interpretation.
Yeah, he keeps his mouth closed because of the wicked in my presence. He's not happy with the wicked people. Because he's a faithful one. He's following God's ways. But he can't stand his neighbor who's wicked. He doesn't follow God's ways. And in this company, he is not happy. At least that's what I see in verse 1, second part. I will keep a muzzle on my mouth as long as the wicked are in my presence. Unhappy with the company.
Well, he calls them wicked as opposed to, I don't agree with their lifestyle or what they say or whatever. He calls them wicked.
Yeah, the Psalms today calls them ungodly.
Yeah, you don't want them in your company, obviously.
But I think he feels that God's not paying any attention to him. As again, in this it says, finally I exploded. Oh God, demonstrate some concern for me. Give me some reason for this endless conflict.
Yeah.
He feels that God has worrying about person X who's an ungodly person, or a group of people who are ungodly. But here I am, faithful, and you're not doing anything for me.
Yeah. I gotta hang around with these ungodly people.
That makes more sense, Judy, than when you go on to say, let me know when my end is, when my days are fleeting, etc. So, if you're not going to pay attention to me, then
let me go.
Let me know.
Yeah, I'm ready to check out.
Right, exactly.
What's my exit date?
And yet he still says, my hope is in thee. So.
Yeah, he expresses all these emotions, but he's talking to God. He's not going to talk to the wicked. They're not going to. They don't believe in God, or they don't believe that God's going to do anything to them.
He says, I continue to lay claim to your forgiveness for my failures. So he still accepts God's love. It says forgiveness. I'm using the word love, but
yeah, well, forgiveness is love. God forgives us all our sins. We had that talk last night. They were wondering if loving kindness is forgiveness. And we had people that said yes, other people said, no, we don't think it is.
That's a beautiful discussion.
I said he was on the cross. Did he say, Father, forgive them for they know not what they do? Isn't that love? Even for the ones who don't know what they're doing. I thought it was love. But everybody has at times their own opinion. Some people like it in different categories. How were you raised to understand anger? How were you raised to understand anger? I think I was raised not to be angry.
I would assume that we probably have a different perspective than you. You're male. That means boys don't cry,
Right.
boys don't, and all of that kind of thing, which we were not
Given
that
that
same. I don't know, maybe
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
wrong, it's just a perception.
Yeah. Be nice.
I don't remember being angry as a child. I don't know that anybody ever said anything or did anything. I think maybe it was just a matter of the way the family interacted and what we did.
I do remember as a kid that, sorry to interrupt.
I was going to say, I think we get frustrated with ourselves, but I don't know, we may get a little angry with ourselves, but as toward other people, I'm not sure growing up that was ever part of my life. I'm sure there must have been, but I don't remember.
I was angry with my dad when he wouldn't give me $1 to buy popcorn, or cotton candy. We were going on a trip to a circus, and of course $1 in those days when I was 7 or 8 was a lot of money. I said, what's $1? I'm already thinking like $1. You could spare $1. Did not give me that $1. I did not get my cotton candy or popcorn, whatever. I was so mad at him and angry he didn't do that. I still remember that. Things later things happen. I got older, grew up, and everything, but I still remember that because I thought he would do that. I'm the oldest. I follow the rules. I deserve a little perk, a little extra. My other brother won't know what's going on. But that's a kid's point of view. I know my mom was angry when I was folding the clothes. We had a nanny, and she was to do the wash and fold the clothes and put everything away. So I ended up staying with the nanny and folding the clothes and putting them away because she promised me 2 dozen oatmeal cookies with raisins in it. And bribery will get you everywhere when it comes to me and oatmeal cookies. And when my mom found out I pay her to do that work, and my son is doing that work. Yeah, but Mom, I'm getting cookies. That seems like I always sent her around food.
I learned anger was loud.
Oh, yeah.
Anger was loud.
Yelling.
And that seemed to be the way you expressed anger, was to get loud.
Yeah.
Or to express your opinion.
I guess I still do that.
Well, we all do.
I remember if we didn't do what we were told, we were supposed to go to our room. No more conversation, no more talking, no more trying to, okay, I'll do better. Go to your room.
Well, I did that as the parent. You can go to your room, and when you decide to act like a normal human being, then you may come out. I never put a time frame on that when it was up to either one of the girls to make that decision when they may have been shouting at me, or because you don't shout at me today and you didn't shout at me 50 years ago either. So the other side, I don't remember being told how to, but I do remember being sent to my room.
Were you allowed to talk about feeling angry at other people? I don't remember.
Not as a kid. Because as a kid, you were supposed to just be good.
Suck it up.
Yeah.
Well,
I remember, being a pastor, there were people who were angry with me if they felt that I wasn't doing things the way the previous pastor did, or the way they were brought up in their spirituality. I would listen. I don't know if I resolved anything. I just listened. I do remember one person, if you don't do this and this and this, I'm going to another church. I says, I think you can go to another church.
I was going to say, there's the door. Don't let it hit you on the way out.
I did. I says, yeah, you don't have to stay here if things are not going the way you want it to go.
That's holding you hostage.
Yeah, and I said, you could go. He never left because he found out when he went to another church, nobody knew him. And no one listened to him. So he came back to the church where people would know him and listen to him. He had people that would listen. And I do remember, he was an ornery guy, but nevertheless, he went into the hospital and he was under a coma, induced coma to help him with his health. And I think his wife said that Pastor Kevin was here, he was visiting you, talking to you, even though he's in a coma, doesn't mean that he can't hear you. And he just thought that was like shocking. That you would come and see me at the hospital. Well, yeah, you're a parishioner. I mean, you can disagree with me and you can be angry with me, but I'm still your pastor and you still need visits and prayer. And that surprised him. He did not expect that. And I didn't expect him to be surprised that I wouldn't come to see him. Yeah, just because you're angry with me doesn't mean I'm going to stop being your pastor. Yeah. Jesus, just because you can be angry at Jesus, is he going to stop showing his love and forgiveness for you? No, I don't think so. And I remember we sang Danny Boy, the tune, to a hymn. Oh, she was so apt because she was Scottish. She didn't like that tune. That was the other side. And that didn't belong in church. It's very strict. And towards the end, as I visited her, even at the hospital, in the nursing home, and then her husband and everything, she said, this is a nice hymn. I've gotten acquainted with this tune. And it's in our hymnal. But I don't think it's Danny Boy now. It's another tune. But Christ, oh Christ, it starts with oh Christ. Anyway, it starts with that.
Isn't it? I'm going to go out on a limb and say, like Finlandia?
No, that's not Finlandia. Okay. Danny Boy.
Something in the words, there are other people that...
yeah, that's Finlandia.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's towards the end of the hymnal. Oh, and then she was in a nursing home, and she says, what can I do? What can I do? I'm here at this nursing home. I can't do this. You can pray. Offer prayers for those who work in this nursing home. Offer prayers for those who are in the nursing home. Offer prayers to the families who are visiting their families in the nursing home. Pray for them. Okay, I'll do that. I don't think she would ever take instruction from me, but I gave her something to do, and she felt it. And she appreciated it. Time takes time. And then they see something that they didn't see before. Were you taught to express your anger at God, directly to God? I don't think so.
Now, we had, particularly with my father, as I got older, many discussions on church language, which is my terminology. I talk to God the way I talk to anybody else. I don't use church language, these and thous, and if anybody stands next to me when we pray the Lord's Prayer, Kevin,
yes,
I use the I set text. I do not use the traditional. I don't pray to thee and thou. That's not. But my father was livid because the I set text of the Lord's Prayer was printed in the LBW, the Green Book, for the first time, which came out on October 1st, 1978.
Wow.
And in my congregation then, which was in Mount Holly, we moved immediately to using the new hymnal. And I was part of worship committee, go figure. Some things never change. But, there were congregations who would put both books in the pew. And so we do something out of this book and then something out of the new book. And I wasn't the only one, but a number of us suggested no. As of the first Sunday in Advent, which was the day the LCA said it's okay to start using it, wasn't that book, it was a red book, that's Cranberry. The old red book we put away, and we put the new green books in the hymnal. And I can remember Pastor saying to me, what do we do about the Lord's Prayer? Should we use the new form or the old form? And I said, if you're going to, he said, I was thinking about waiting maybe 6 months to use the I said text. And I said, people are going to be upset because of the new hymnal, new worship setting, new whatever.
Yeah, it's new.
Let's get them all upset at once. Don't wait 6 months. Get everybody settled down. All of a sudden we throw something. No, this is it. This is what we do. So from that day until today, they use the new form, the I-set text of the Lord's Prayer. The Synod uses that. The National Church uses it. But my father thought it was awful that we would change the wording, because that's what Jesus spoke. I hate to tell you, Dad, but Jesus didn't speak English. Well, you know what I mean. No, I don't know what you mean. And the Lord's Prayer that you feel is the way to pray it came about much later than Jesus. But we could not agree, and there were times my mother would walk away because my father and I would argue about that piece of it, and we argued a lot about church things. We didn't get along, and yet he was very active in church. He was on council before we had terms on council. He was on council for a long time. But angry, I didn't get angry at God, but more anger about God. I was angry that my father didn't want to listen to me about God. It wasn't a discussion. It was an argument, which accomplished nothing. He didn't change my mind, and I didn't change his. Not because we couldn't discuss it. So, was I ever told it was okay to get my feeling is yes, God's shoulders are broad. If something happens to a loved one, why did you do this? And we look up, and God's not up there. But that's tradition, we think. Yeah. Heaven's up there. And I think God accepts that kind of anger. It's okay. I often wonder if God gets angry with me. I go home and something I said or something I did, something I shouldn't have said, something I shouldn't have done. Is God angry with me? So the anger doesn't always come from me to God, but I wonder if it comes occasionally, at least, from God to me. I still love my father, even though I was angry. Can God still love me and be angry with me? I don't know, that's a theological question.
Well, anger is better
beyond
than
me.
apathy. Because that anger shows a connection. A connection, because you're willing to talk to God. And if God's angry at you, he's still concerned about you and wants it to be straightened out. I mean, you have that love and hate relationship between God's people in the Old Testament. And then God's like, but there's still this relationship. Apathy is when you don't listen. I'm not interested in what you say. You're nothing. It's worse. At least anger, there's still connection. And someone's concerned. They want things to be settled. They want things to be corrected. They want things to be heard. Follow me. So that's what I was taught. Anger is still an emotional connection, whereas apathy, nothing. And Psalm 22, Jesus is my God, why have you forsaken me? That's a feeling of apathy. God's not listening to your pain, to your anger. It's not right. What's going on?
Between apathy and anger, there can be concern. I'm thinking, at least you stayed in the same church.
True.
I was raised in Christian Science, and when I was in my teens, I started to question it. And then when my husband and I were looking to get married, we wanted to be married in church, and we went to pastor rank over at Grace. And my parents, they were okay with it. We didn't fight. When I first started having those doubts in my teens, they asked me to talk to someone else, and she couldn't convince me. And it wasn't that they didn't care, because of course they thought they were right. If I pinch you, there is no sensation in that, or you're not going to feel it. You know? But when I look back, I was fortunate about that, because it didn't cause a break in the family. It's just a different way of looking at things.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
very different.
And others, I do remember when the Jehovah's Witness broke away from that faith and that family's faith. They were no longer allowed to be with the family ever again. They were really cut off. No argument would resolve that. What she did find was a place to meet with other Jehovah's Witnesses that left the faith. And they could talk and share their frustration. They're no longer connected with the family, but they had then people who were in the common experience of disown. Is that the word? Rejection. Yeah, rejection. And you can't go back unless you confess your sin and say, "Okay, I come back." I don't even know if you can come back. I know in what's called shunning. What's that? That's the
Yeah, that's the Amish.
Amish. That's very hard. And again,
That's always to me been interesting, because the Amish shun anybody who leaves, but they are the most forgiving people about sins that other people commit. I'm thinking of the school where children were, and they forgave them all. I mean, it's sort of a, I don't know what the word is, but direct.
double standard.
Double standard is fine.
Okay. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, the shunning just didn't make sense to me. But yes, to show love for the enemy, to show love for the murderer of their children. That's love.
It's tough.
Yeah, but that's what they were taught to do, and that's what they're going to do. I think I got the book somewhere. I haven't read it. Should have read that during Lent. That'd be a good book to read.
Got a week or two.
Yeah, you still have time to jam it in. Some Psalms express anger at God on behalf of other people. We all know of good people who take hit after hit in life and never seem to catch a break. That Psalm 39 calls God to task for the ways God allows bad things to happen to good people. In this case, the psalmist. Psalm 39 offers a counterpoint to the theological idea that God won't give you more than you can handle. That theology can be comforting, but it can also be unintentionally damaging in at least two ways. First, it asserts that God intentionally sends bad events into our lives. If the bad events are truly traumatic, the idea that they are God-sent may cause folks to fall away from faith. Second, God won't give you more than you can handle. Does not allow for the fact that not everything comes from God, and that some things are indeed so bad that people can't handle them. It's not like an easy answer, or you can explain it away. You have to go through it. And each person that goes through it can share what your experience, strength, and hope is as you go through it. Share it with each other in the community. As a counterpoint, Psalm 39 affirms that it is God's job to help us handle the struggles with which we are faced, and that we can call God to the task when the divine one seems to be failing. It also affirms that God can handle our anger when it feels like we have, or someone we love has, been confronted with too many of life's harder experiences. What might you imagine this kind of theology might be useful? I think it's when someone dies, or also dealing with the issue of cancer, some sort of disease that you have no cure of. And then, being with the person, listening to what they have to say, and then allowing them the freedom to say it. And again, as we say in that grief support, it's all right to talk about it. And what you're expressing doesn't make it wrong. Doesn't make it bad. You're expressing what you're feeling. We're human. You're human. And Jesus is fully human on that cross, as well as divine, but fully human. He's experiencing pain, and he's experiencing, God is, that's what sin does. Sin separates us from God. Jesus has taken on the whole sin of the world, that separation from God. What must that feel like? My God, why have you forsaken me? That's how it feels like. And of course, death. No life. With God, there's life. But with God, there's also death. And God can give life in the midst of death.
The first part that you read about that.
Let's see if I can find it. The first assertion?
Yes.
First, it asserts that God intentionally sends bad
Yes.
events into our lives. If the bad events are truly traumatic, the idea that if they are God sent may cause folks to fall away from faith.
Well, I don't know that it would cause anybody to just saying the Lord's Prayer, since we were talking about the Lord's Prayer. Lead us not into temptation. That to me has become kind of a thought that I don't think God leads me into temptation. I think I can find temptation on my own. But better to say, save me in the time of trial. To me, that's what it sounds like this passage is trying to convey.
Yes.
The difference between a God that is testing us all the time or a God that is with us, whatever the test may be that the world brings.
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. But I'm walking through the shadow.
Yeah.
But I'm not alone. It's the trials of life.
Whether they're the ones that you make for yourself or they're just how things happen.
You're in the wrong place at the wrong time, and now you get to be clobbered. And you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't
Not
say
intentionally.
Well, you didn't do anything. I was just walking by, minding my own business, and then I get clobbered.
Well,
That's not right.
Or like we do here in the grief thing, I keep going back and saying, what should I have done differently? That's clobbering yourself over and over again.
Yeah, I could have saved him or
I
her.
should have done something different.
Yeah.
Or I'm thinking, what could I have done? I mean,
I told him to quit smoking. I told him to quit drinking. I told him. He didn't listen to me.
Yeah. Or just decisions that are made if you have to, and my mom had to decide whether you were going to prolong suffering or not and make that decision. It's been, almost 2 years, and she's still questioning. Even though she knows, and no one has given her grief about it directly to say, well, maybe you shouldn't have done that. No one has ever said that to her.
But she's what she's feeling. Yeah.
But I think there are times when people turn away from the church because of something that has happened in their life.
Oh gosh, yes, absolutely.
So, I think that's sort of what it's saying. Right?
Yes. Oh, yes. if I go to church and I do everything that God tells me to do, and I'm doing it the best way I can, and then this happens to me, what did I do wrong? I'm doing everything right. Jesus did everything right. He's still going to die on the cross. Because that is the right thing to do, to save us. He gave, and it's love. He gave us his life so that we may have life in him. That's love. Rabbi Anson H., I'm going to say Leitner, maintains that the Jewish literary heritage is replete with laments and dirges, complaints and arguments, all protesting God's mistreatment of his people. In other words, Judaism contains robust tradition of speaking about one's anger at God directly to God. According to Leitner, in this tradition, God is called to account and charged, at the very least, with indifference. If God is not acting unjustly, he is, at any rate, permitting injustice and suffering to flourish. However, at the same time, just by raising the issue in a liturgical or worship context, the belief in God as a just and humane judge is reaffirmed, and the people comforted by having their anger and questions aired. When Job was angered and aired, God listened to him. I don't think Job got the answers he wanted, but he could at least speak to God and aired it, and then God responded, and he said, okay, I hear you now. Yeah. Where were you when I created the world? I wasn't here. According to that, what's the time up?
We got about 5 minutes.
Oh, you do good. Good. That clock's wrong then. The other Psalms, like I mentioned, Psalm 1 is anger at God. Psalm 73, anger at God on behalf of others. Psalm 74, anger at God in light of a national disaster. Psalm 89, anger at God in light of a national disaster. Psalm 94, anger at God on behalf of others. Psalm 42, anger at God for divine absence. And Psalm 88, anger at God for divine attack. Does anybody want to read one of these Psalms in conclusion of our study on anger in the Psalms? Which one would you like?
What 79 one of them?
89 was one, which is long.
Okay.
And I think 88 is even long. But 42 is anger at God for his divine absence.
We did that last week.
And that was last week.
Oh. And that was an anger psalm?
Well, you want to hear it again?
No, because that was under lament. I guess you can have anger and lament on the same psalm. What does that say? Yes. I think 88 is a long one.
Well, what's one?
88 is
One is short. Psalm 1. You can't go wrong with Psalm 1.
Oh, I have this.
Okay.
I don't see it as anger. Happy are they who have not walked in the counsel of the wicked, nor lingered in the way of sinners, nor sat in the seats of the scornful. Their delight is in the law of the Lord, and they meditate on God's teaching day and night. They are like trees planted by streams of water, bearing fruit in due season. Their leaves that do not wither, everything they do shall prosper. It is not so with the wicked. They are like chaff which the wind blows away. Therefore the wicked shall not stand upright when judgment comes, nor the sinner in the counsel of the righteous. For the Lord knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked shall be destroyed.
I think he's angry at the wicked.
Okay, angry at the wicked.
Yeah, and the scornful. But they must be around. I mean, obviously, the wicked people, this person is making a judgment as to who's wicked, right? And they're probably sitting in the temple. They're in the church. They're in the worship service. They're the neighbors sitting next to them. And so if you say, they're not going to stand, they're not going to be around, it's going to happen. It's not on the last day. They're going to get their just desserts. I think that, but then, I'm good, I'm righteous, I'm saying the right things, blah, blah, blah. But So I think I never really saw the Psalm 1 as angry. I saw it as a positivity in regards to, if I do the right things, I'm good. I'm good. But I didn't realize he's talking about the other ones who are not good. They need to be dealt with now. They need to accept the new Lord's Prayer.
No, I hope nobody picked that up. No, that's not what I was saying.
No, I just threw it in there.
I thought there was a psalm that said almost exactly that. Why are those people are bad? They do wrong things and yet they prosper. I thought there was.
Oh yeah, there is.
That would say it a little more to me than Psalm 1. That hey, no fair. I'm following the rules. You're not. But I can't put my hand on it.
Well, you can read part of Psalm 88. Want to do Psalm 88, 1 through 10?
88, 1 through 10.
It's not that long. I'm going to think of it. It's 88. 88 is 1 through 18. Yeah, do all of it. 88?
14 is the same too.
Did someone else want to read 88?
No, go ahead.
Okay. O Lord my God, my Savior, by day and night I cry to you. Let my prayer enter into your presence. Incline your ear to my lamentation. For I am full of trouble. My life is at the brink of the grave. I am counted among those who go down to the pit. I have become like one who has no strength, lost among the dead, like the slain who lie in the grave, whom you remember no more, for they are cut off from your hand. You have laid me in the depths of the pit, in dark places and in the abyss. Your anger weighs upon me heavily, and all your great waves overwhelm me. You have put my friends far from me. You have made me to be abhorred by them. I am in prison and cannot get free. My sight has failed me because of trouble. Lord, I have called on you daily. I have stretched out my hands to you. Do you work wonders for the dead? Will those who have died stand up and give you thanks? Will your loving kindness be declared in the grave, your faithfulness in the land of destruction? Will your wonders be known in the dark, or your righteousness in the country where all are forgotten? But as for me, O Lord, I cry to you for help in the morning, and my prayer comes before you. Lord, why have you rejected me? Why have you hidden your face from me? Ever since my youth I have been wretched and at the point of death. I have borne your terrors and am helpless. Your blazing anger has swept over me. Your terrors have destroyed me. They surround me all day long. Like a flood, they encompass me on every side. My friend and my neighbor you have put away from me, and darkness is my only companion. Ooh.
That whole thing's pretty dark.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
God is absent in that one.
Wow.
But nevertheless, the psalmist is crying out to God.
Yep.
Despite
Yep.
the feelings, the emotions, the circumstances.
Yep.
It's the pits.
And
His life is the pits. And he's going to keep doing this, lament, with anger towards God. He's going to keep praying day and night. Not going to give up.
This says, good Lord, where are you? Is there nothing within me worth saving?
That's a low point. Wow. Powerful.
We need to end on something brighter.
Well, I got this prayer. Maybe it'll help.
Good, thank
I
you.
said me. The Lord be with you.
And also with you.
O Lord our God, you are good. You love us. And you work for justice and righteousness for all creation. Receive our protest of anger as prayers of faith. Let our frustration rise before you as incense, the lifting up of our dissent as an offering of hope to you. In your name we pray. Amen.